everybody, it's Holly Burns of Holly Burns Psychic. Welcome to my latest update on the convergence of the disclosure of Sasquatch, aliens, and the second coming of Jesus Christ and Mary Magdalene. Excited to get into it. Firstly, before we get into the update, a lot of you have been asking me in the comments how to get a hold of me. If you're interested in a private reading, my website is always listed in the description below. It's hollyburnspsychic.com. Fill out the contact us form on my website, and that'll go directly to my email. If you answer in the comments, I may or may not see it because sometimes I don't see comments for months. If you want to ensure that you get a hold of me, I recommend going through the website or the email. And if I do not respond to you within a couple of days at the longest, please send a message again because that means I did not get it, because I do respond to every message that I receive. Let's get into today's update. Wow, that's all I can say. Can you guys feel it? Things are getting big. The Sasquatches shocked the crap out of me. They have been telling me when things are going to happen for the last 2 years, the second coming of Jesus and Mary, and also the disclosure of them. I figured out after working with Tatankawa for quite some time that they also work with Jesus, as I do. So they're working with Jesus, I'm working with Jesus. And Jesus is giving them information to tell me. So part of my consciousness lesson is to work with them about the second coming of Jesus. And the Sasquatch people know when it is. They know because they don't live bound by time and space like we do. And they started giving me signs about when it is. Then, as time went on, I realized they were telling me that the signs and symbols they were giving me related to the specific timing of the second coming of Jesus and Mary. So for what they could be telling me. And I just thought I was going to start studying the ancient alphabets, and I zoomed in on the Hebrew alphabet the most. Then I just started taking pictures, and I started a pretty big collection of pictures of what seemed to be very specific symbols and letters. Over time, I collected a whole bunch of them. And then I started to very recently see if they matched Jesus. So I started looking up the symbols I kept getting over and over again. The first one I noticed was Yahweh. I started looking at my sticks and my photographs, my pictures, and I went, oh my gosh, this is like so perfect. I couldn't even believe it. So I started making some collages, and lo and behold, here we go. When I trace the sticks, it matches Yahweh. So then I thought, I'm just going to see if my symbols match Asherah. So I decided to see which of my symbols, if any, could match the name Asherah, because I started getting so many Ys. I've been getting Ys for a year straight. So many Ys. And lately, they've just been hammering me with Ys. And here's what I got. Here is Asherah, and I was so blown away. I just did this 5 days ago, and my mind was completely blown with the last two, especially the swastika looking one, because they had just given me those sticks on the ground right there. That is the last symbol on the right when I got the idea to look up Asherah. And then look at the perfect W. After I got these, I went, oh my God. This is freaking perfect. I know that's what they're telling me. I just know it is. So then I came across Dr. Christian Widener's recent videos. Soon as I saw this one portion of his video, my mind was once again completely blown. And I feel like I'm being told a correlation of the year 2027 from the Sasquatch people, with the W's and the Y's added in here. I was just like, oh my God. Plus, the more bent stick that makes the symbols in this particular word are definitely, this is definitely what they've been saying. So what Dr. Christian is saying with this top row of letters is in Daniel 9:24. It means 70, 70. This is all for later in the video, but the second 70 computes to the year 2027, and that's explained later in this video. Oh my God, this is all connected. The Sasquatch people are connecting in with Dr. Christian's work with the second coming of Jesus and Mary. It's all intertwined in a big web. I can't even believe it. Look how perfect this is. I just got the twig on the right yesterday, and I'm like, oh my God, there's a perfect W in there. I can't even believe it. It even has the little top pieces that match these little top pieces here. I'm like, what? I couldn't even believe it. This one isn't the greatest here. I would use a different stick for this letter over. Just know I have lots of other better sticks than this one that are more bent. I picked this Y because it's a very recent Y that I just got. And the way it branches off at the top here kind of reminds me of how this has an extra piece on the top of this Y here. I have like probably 100 Ys. And this little squiggly, I like this one because it even flips up right there, just like this one does here. And this one, of course, this is just exactly this. I can't even believe it. And this one just tips up perfectly right here at the same ratio as this does right here. So this blowing my mind. I can tell you it's aligned for me. I know they're telling me 70. You'll find out later in the video what those mean, but they really mean 490-year periods. And the second 490-year period, according to Dr. Christian, ends in 2027. This is just huge. And then we have this huge eclipse coming in 2027. The Sasquatch people said this will not be just any eclipse. That ties in with my vision. The eclipse has the longest totality of any eclipse of this century. The totality is 6 minutes and 23 seconds. Again, that might tie in with the timing of the second coming of Jesus and Mary as well. The Sasquatch said about this upcoming eclipse, they said it is more than just astronomical. I think so as well. And then they said the day of the Lord draws near. The Sasquatch people have given me a full vase of turkey feathers. And it's a clue having to do with the second coming of Jesus Christ and Mary. I thought it meant Thanksgiving-ish, but what year? I'm not sure. Then I got this sign today. This woman that works with ETs, her name is Angelique. She said, and then Angelique took the camera crew in and met with the Greys and filmed the whole thing. It was reminiscent of an American Thanksgiving tradition. And I went, what? Okay, what? They're giving me turkey feathers, and now turkey feathers can tie in with aliens? Now the turkey feathers bring on a different meaning. This could possibly have something to do with ET disclosure as well. So that's an interesting twist. The elder said this is just the beginning. Bashar has correlated. Now, I've been getting signs about this for 20 years, and the elders have been giving me pinpointed to the minute information about this for 20 years. And as I go along, I'm putting more and more things together. I do strongly agree with Bashar that 2026 is the year of soft disclosure and 2027 is the year of open contact, meaning not just the awakened and aware will know aliens exist at that point, but everybody will. They'll be like, hi, I'm a hybrid. They'll be on many, many podcasts and national TV syndicate interview type shows. ESPN was discussing aliens. Bashar said it will be as you would a recognized official public announcement in 2027 and an introduction physically of extraterrestrial beings. And I feel completely aligned with that, with what the elders are telling me as well. He said the hybrids will be coming first, the human looking ones next, and the non-human looking ones are down the line. I just came across a woman that actually has DNA evidence that she is an alien hybrid. Her name is Dolly Saffron, and she was told her 10th and 11th chromosomes have 10 runs in each of them, and they do not know what they are. And her results identified non-human DNA in her 10th and 11th chromosome. Is that freaking cool or what? She has DNA evidence that she is a hybrid. She's been told she was a hybrid since she was a young girl. She's worked with ETs since she was a young girl, and she's been trained to fly their ships. What? She had like 4 years of training to learn how to run their ships. What? So she said every human has Anunnaki blood. You gotta watch it. Watch her episodes, Dolly Saffron on Cosmic Disclosure. It's amazing. Bashar says we are actually hybrids with Anunnaki, with the Sasquatch people. These Sasquatch people were the original human. People are so floored at how human they are. No, instead it's how Sasquatch we are. How Sasquatch we are. They are our brothers. They are so advanced. And on top of that, we have another person with a huge disclosure statement. A man named Mike Batista is a former Green Beret, and he went under hypnosis to regress himself back to remember some lost time he had and some missing memories he had having to do with ETs when he was working as a Green Beret. He is told that he has Andromedan bloodlines because after we were created from the Anunnaki breeding with the Sasquatch, many star people have come to Earth and bred with humans. So we are diluted with many different types of alienicities. And he said, I'm here to be a steward for them to ready humanity because the Andromedans are coming back. And she said, when will that be? And that time then she was speaking with the Andromedan officer who came through, the Andromedan leader, was speaking through Mike. And she said, and when would you be coming back? And he said, 2027. I just about jumped 3 feet off the grass. I was working on horse fence. Is that great or what? We have, what do we got now? 3 different correlations with my same timeline for Jesus' coming and my vision with the aliens. They're all pinpointed in on that same timeline. What that means is formally announcing that their presence is here. The Andromedan leader said, prepare for their arrival in 2027. They say people will be more aware of the visitors. They are going to be seeing them everywhere, all over the world. She tried to ask more about that, and the Andromedan leader said a piece of technology will become public around that time. It will be exotic to Earth. I'm like, what? What do you mean? What does a piece of technology have to do with disclosure? I don't know. Are they talking about the looking glass technology? So now I'm going to move on to the second coming of Jesus and Mary and how that ties in with 2026 to 2028. Could specifically 27. Way back in 2007, my spirit guide, Ander, on 667 said 16. So 16 has many layers to it. And I was told it in 2006 to 2007, which to me kind of correlates with 26 and 27 AD. Dr. Christian Widener thinks that Jesus started his ministry in 27 AD. The 9th of Tishri had happened on a Sunday and Yom Kippur had happened on the Sabbath that year, and these are very rare things. And so he had a starting point of 27 AD to work from. So then he was figuring out this timeline from this 70 weeks prophecy. I believe it's the book of Daniel. And actually, each week is actually 7 years, because in the Bible, in that book, 1 week is considered 7 years. So it's actually 70 times 7 years. So it's 490 years. Well, he believes it's 2 different prophecies, and he thinks the second one is actually the prophecy of when Jesus returns. This first prophecy lines up with the time of Jesus' death, which is 33 AD. Then the second group of 490 years, he says it starts from 1537, where there is yet another fulfillment of the prophecies. And it has to do with restoring the city of Jerusalem. And it said restoring the moat and the plaza. Well, they actually have proof that the moat in Jerusalem and the plaza were both restored in 1537. So if he starts counting from 1537, he comes up with 2027. My mouth just hit the floor when I came across and was led to his videos. I think they're just fascinating. He's got it all broken down in way more detail, but it's also biblical correlations to the year 2027 and lining up again with what I feel I've been being told for the last 20 years, which is a time frame of 2025 to 2030, and the hot spots being 2026, 27, and 28. So really, really cool stuff. And now we're into 2026 and 2027, which could correlate exactly with 26 and 27 AD. So I'm finding some numeric correlations there. And now that things are coming down the pipe here, calendar-wise, I'm starting to look at this year and go, wait, this is all tying in. Jesus and Mary, they do some fun things. They have encrypted some downloads into society that are encrypted information about the timing of their second coming. And they encrypt them into pop culture. Like the meme 6-7, how those things happen is somebody gets a download. A collective consciousness of people get the same download. They all start thinking the same thing. It starts becoming a thing, but it starts from somewhere. We had the Great Alignment at Easter of 2026. Chris Bledsoe's Woman in White, and she talked about the alignment of a special star, the red star of Regulus. When the red star is on the horizon on Easter morning, aligned with the Sphinx, that will start a great change and a great shift for humanity. That's something something huge that happened in 2026. That's why this 676767. Get it? Then there's this Jubilee data. Dr. Christian Widener was discussing his translation of the information is the second coming of Jesus will happen in 2027. And he's studying the Jubilees, which are every 50 years. There's a Jubilee year. And he's saying 26 and 27 AD, he said, which was a year of Jubilee. But he also thinks that people miss the clue. Not only is it a year of Jubilee, but he says he thinks it's also when the day of the Lord is going to begin. So he thinks it has a double meaning. Then somebody said, we land in 2028. And when they said that, Jesus and Mary said that along with, I'm not sure if they will let the world know that they're here or not before the alien disclosure stuff starts happening next year, or if they're going to let that go for a little ways and then they're going to pop in. But I do know that they have a lot to do with that. They work with all the different aliens. They all know them. So that's all going to start crisscrossing quite quickly. And this is really cool. Recently, one of my really good friends who knows that I'm studying all this, she was sleeping and she woke up as she was saying, Jesus is coming. And she said when she said it, it was just like, there was no doubt. So she channeled the message, Jesus is coming. That's pretty big. The elders are pointing me definitely to 2026 to 27. 2025 through 2028 is the timeline for that, somewhere in there. I would be really surprised if it took later than 2028 for them to announce to the world that they are back. Really surprised. I want to talk about the eclipse and how that could tie in as well. The eclipse of August 2nd, 2027 could also tie in really importantly with the second coming of Jesus and Mary. This eclipse is at its longest of 6 minutes and 23 seconds, just a little way south of the Great Pyramid. And the Pyramid of Giza is all about Jesus and Mary. The whole painting of the Last Supper is all about the Great Pyramid. And when I heard about this eclipse coming in, when I went, it's the biggest eclipse of the century. It's in the year of disclosure. This is all not by chance. This is all big. This is all big. This all ties in with alien disclosure and the second coming of Jesus and Mary. And of course, full disclosure of the Sasquatch people is coming as well. All three of these keep intertwining each other like a braided timeline. So let's keep going. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be big. And we'll keep reporting back as more and more information comes to light. Thank you so much for watching.